Hey everybody, how you doing today? My name is Kelly, and we are going to do a heart with wings. And I want to explain a few things, but I will do that as we are doing it. I wanted to show you I got commissioned to do another Day of the Dead girl. She's almost done. I'm going to put in some more flowers around so she has some. I think I have small like flowers, and then I'm going to do a flower in her hair. Just something different. I don't know how well you can see. It's hard on camera to get, but she does have highlights in her hair. I don't know why it's not picking up. I think because it's so bright in here from my window because I have my blinds open. But she does have these really cool, if I could turn it that way, highlights and stuff in her hair. And I'm really digging on her. I got a few more things to do with her. But digging on her, and I love it, and it's just on a piece of mixed media paper, and I love doing these. And like I said, once she gets her flower in her hair, I have to decide what side I want it on. I think I might want it on this side. And yeah, so I'm really happy. I wish you guys could really see the texture in her hair. It's really driving me crazy. Okay. Oh, I should have got my book out that we're going to use. Wait a minute. Where the heck is my book? If I would only clean. Today we are going to do, if I can find my book. Darn it. You know what? I keep opening. I have so many of these. I just keep using the page. Oh, there it is over there. We're going to do a heart with wings with watercolor. Somebody requested. And then I have a few more videos this week. We're going to do, somebody had given me some suggestions because, you know, I love playing and trying new things. So on how to use my mod melts on the one plastic thing I have, using different things that are, my daughter's coming home from taking the dog for a walk, so you're going to hear my other dogs bark. So I'm going to turn the paper this way. I'm going to set my colored pencil this way. And I'm going to use colored pencils, and I'm going to use my colored Neocolor crayons. You can use paints. You can use watercolor pencils, colored crayons, you know, watercolor crayons. You can use your watercolor paints, acrylic paints. You can use the Reeves water-soluble pastels. You can use your portfolio. You can use whatever you want. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys, I don't know if I showed you these before, and I will, I'll show you real quick. On a piece of paper. You would think like around here I would have paper. I'm just going to do find a piece of paper that kind of has some stuff to. All right, we'll just do like right here real quick. These are called, I'm assuming, Bienfang. I don't know. They're acid-free permanent blendable watercolors. And I love these, and I bought these a while back, and I got these at Michael's, and I've not used all of them. I can't recall if I've shown these before or not, but I've gotten so many new subs. Thank you very much to all my new subs and to all my normal subs, my regular subs, and thank you for tagging me on Facebook and emailing me your pictures and your letters. And I have a lot of people to write back, and I just wake up thrilled to death every day with all my emails and all my messages on YouTube's and all my comments and all my tags and that people tag me with. But let me just tell you about these. These are great for people who are stuck, you know, sometimes can't move. Like I've had a really bad week and a half. My whole left side is completely numb, and from my hip down, which now it's moving into my shoulder, my knee, my ankle, I'm completely swollen. I don't know if it's the RA. Actually, last night I was laying in bed, and because I've had I get shingles like crazy. And I was so sick last night, and I went and laid in bed, and I'm laying there. I fought to take a shower, and I went and laid in bed, and I'm like, you stupid bitch, you have shingles. Like, I've had it so many times, and it never dawned on me, but stress brings shingles, and I've had a very stressful month. This has been, as you guys know, a very stressful month. So I have shingles, and blisters, everything. So my point was, I don't know. Anyway, but not being able to move out of bed and not being able to walk and everything, it's very hard. So these are great. You can use your coupon at Michael's, and what they are, and you see all the colors that they come in. You get reds, orange, yellow, purple, green, blues, black, brown, yellow, like different, looks like there's like 2 of each. And then you get an empty one. And what's great about this is Speedball. So I'm assuming it's a Speedball product. What's great with these all have paint in them. And then you have your water one. So let's say you're going to the doctor's, or you're going out, or you're sitting in bed, or you're sitting on the couch and you can't move and you're stuck and you want to paint. Well, don't worry. Don't fear. Bienfang is here. And what it does is there's watercolor paint in here. And you just give it a little squeeze like you would a water pencil. And let me move in a little bit for you before we start our other. And I'll use this when I'm doing my thing too. Now this isn't gessoed, but look how beautiful they paint. These are awesome. And it's watercolor. And then you can take your watercolor brush, the one that comes in there or another one, and you can blend. Now this isn't gessoed, so it's soaked right in. No big deal. Or maybe there's no water in there. It could be one of 2 things. We don't know. We just know Kelly's doing it. And, oh, and a nice fuchsia pink. Apparently something dripped all over this one. I don't know what the hell that is. It's wet. I'll have to investigate later because nothing else has it on there. So I might have just had this sitting out using it and then got something on it and didn't pay attention, put it away. Because that's also me. But it has like these little grippies on it, so you can just squeeze them. Paint comes out. And you paint. And sometimes you gotta squeeze a couple times to get it down too. It's just like a water, there you go. Just like a water brush. So these are really great to have. Now, alright, see, nothing else is leaking, so I'm kind of confused. Maybe it's this green that's leaking. Sometimes it happens. I lay them on their side. I mean, I lay them up and down so they don't leak. I don't lay them on their side, but... And the good thing about having these are, and I'm going to buy another set because I want to use these a little bit more than I have been, is when these are empty, then you have an empty water brush. So this, you know, the ones that I'm always using, or I say go out and buy, then you have an empty one. So you'll have, once you use all these up, they'll all be your water brushes for your watercolors or whatever. And then you go buy another set. So they're really cool. I love them. They're great to use. And they're great for if you're stuck in bed or on the couch. Michael's has them. Use your coupon. Order that you can order offline. Go to Joann's, put in the name, or Hobby Lobby or whatever. They're pretty accessible. And yeah, it does look like it's the green one leaking a little bit. But, you know, so these are really awesome to have. So that's just a little tidbit for you. Okay, so let's start our heart, shall we? I'm going to get on camera with my paper. If I knock one more thing over today, it's like, let's see how much Kelly can knock over today, shall we? Okay. So all we're going to do is do a heart with wings. And I'm just going to use my pencil. And I'm going to lightly, I always like to try to lightly sketch. Try to get your paper. Maybe I'll do this. Take the paper out. I always do everything in a sideways because it's more comfortable, but if I would just do it straight, then everything would come out straight. So there's different ways that you can make a heart if you have a problem making a heart. And let me just show you. Here's one way. You can draw 2 circles touching, kind of like we do with the nose, right? So you have 2 circles, and then take your line down there like that. Then take your, and then go to your line, go around that circle, go to your line, erase your little circle and your line in the middle. This is a great way if you're working with kids and, you know, or sitting and journaling, or for us. I mean, I'm not against, but, and then you have your heart. How simple was that? Again, just 2 circles, you know, not overlapping, but make them touch. And then you have your line go down, and then just bring your, I always go over the circle again because it just makes more of a flow for me. See what I mean? Like it just gives it more of a flow. And then you erase your circles and lines. And you have the perfect heart. So that's a little tip from me to you. Now I'll draw my heart and it'll look ridiculous. And I should have done the lines probably. But what we're going to do is we're just going to draw a heart. Try to do it in the middle of the paper as possible. If you want to measure, by all means measure. I don't necessarily want my heart to be perfect. You might. It's all on what you like. You know, sketch with your pencil lightly. Okay, and then we have our heart. Now, wings can be many, many shapes, as you know. So you can do a wing that's very simple, like this. You know, and then this will be your heart here. Okay, so you can have your wing very, very simple. You can have it very, you do whatever way your heart desires, whatever way you want to do it. So I'm probably going to do a more simplistic one. Let me see. I want to make sure I get on here with. So what I like to do is kind of start where the, just down like that, kind of mark on both. They don't have to be perfect because, I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of what you're doing, your own gig, you know what I mean? Do a line out and then just do like a, like that. Now don't go off the paper on either side. Make your wing end so we can do a point. And you see how we do a point? And then we'll bring it back up. And then we'll do a point and we'll bring it back up. And then you'll go on from there to, what's my thinking? Then you'll go on from there to, because we're just sketching it, like I like the fatter look on that, and I see that that needs to be a little fatter on the bottom. So I'm just going to real quick erase. Now just kind of lightly sketch, you know, don't push too hard with your pencil because we're going to use the watercolor. And then you can go and play, you know, if you want your heart a little bigger, a little or whatever. Then we can put little tuffets in, like we do if you want some, like, you know, to follow around to make some feathers, or you know, whatever kind of thing you're digging on, you know what I mean, to make it look more like feathery. Or you can make outside here like this. And make that all the way around if you wanted. so it gives it more of a feathery look. Why don't we do that? And we'll just take it around. I gotta get a new pencil. Now when you get to your thing there, and then do the same thing. Just because it gives it jagged and it makes it, but you know, again, you can do it round, you can do whatever way you want. And then we'll do the same over here very quickly. Just keep your point at the end, like right here, pointy. So we'll just kind of quickly. And again, you can use your imagination and do whatever you want, as big, as little. Oh my God, come on, pencil. You're gonna hear dogs barking like crazy. You know what I mean? So here you see over here is wider and bigger, here over here is smaller. So it's all in what you dig. Okay, so I'm just gonna erase this middle for now because we're gonna paint it. And I'm not gonna go through, you know, normally what I would do is I would paint, I would erase all of this before I painted it, but I'm not going to today because it'll take too long. I hate wasting your guys' time. So I'm going to take out, I know my heart's going to be red. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paintbrush first. I'm going to wet it. I'm going to just kind of dab it off a little bit, and I'm going to wet. Apparently there's glitter in my brush still. I even put new water in there, but I don't care. What's wrong with some red glitter? Because you can also, when you're done painting, throw red glitter on top. And you have a glittery, beautiful. All right, so I'm just going to wet it a little bit. I'm probably going to wet the wings too. I'll have to probably re-wet them, but I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. I'm just going to kind of, because with the watercolor paper, you know, it just helps with the putting down the... Okay. So, I know I want my heart red. So, use your red watercolor pencil. I'm going to use a red, and I love these. They're Neocolor 2s. They're from I never can say it. Cardiache. They can be a bit expensive, but if you go and buy your Roy G. Bibbs in black and white, you have a great start, and they're not that bad. You can also use the reused watercolor things. I think mine are over on the other side. You can use your Crayola watercolors, whatever. So I'm just going to go in. And when I use watercolors, I like to wet my paper first when I'm using watercolor paper. And I'm just going to kind of go in. Now, I always wish that watercolor paper, and I could buy expensive and it wouldn't be a problem if I could afford it, but, and the red might come up looking orange because of the way I have my settings set. It's red, trust me. I always get upset because I can't afford very expensive watercolor paper. So I buy, you know, Strathmore or whatever, which is fine water paper, but I want smooth water paper. I hate that the water paper has that little like texture in it. A lot of people love it. I don't care for it at all. So I'm going to take my brush again, and I'm just going to go in. I'm going to kind of smooth it out. And I love to outline in different colors, black, or I can even outline in red. So I'm not worried if it goes out the lines a little bit. Not too worried. Now I can go back in with my crayon, or I can use my watercolor that I showed you, the Bienfang. Give it a couple squirts and see it coming out. Look at that. So imagine sitting and being able to sit in your bed and have all these colors accessible to you, not having to have water, not having to have anything but your pen itself. Yeah, your package. How nice that would be. And I love these, and look at the color. And this is just adding more on to what I did. I got glitter in my water. That's hysterical. And I'm just going to go down and just kind of trace outside my line a little bit where I see I missed a little bit. These are great. And I don't know if there's other brands that do this or not. I don't know. And remember, this is red. I promise you. It's just my look. Okay. So, and look how cool, and I don't care that it's doing this, but look how cool it is. Must be that my windows blinds are open. But if you kind of like go like this, and you can even, maybe it'll be better. I'm really freaking out over this color here. Let me see how, can you see how it's like feathering out? Oh, I love that look. So I think that's what we're going to go for these feathers. Yes, I do. I do. So I think I'm going to get these out. These are watercolor. Now remember, you can use your Crayola markers because they're water soluble after you wet this. You can use your Crayola watercolor, your markers from Crayola, your watercolor color paints. You can use anything that you have. It doesn't matter. It's any kind of marker. There's a million, watercolor markers. I better put my Neocolor away or the dog will end up pooping it out her butt. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt. She said squirt. She's going to squirt. I'm going to squirt just a little bit of water on there and then a little bit water this way. And let's see. Can you see how it's blending out? I'm digging it. So I'm going to kind of do like a rainbow kind of thing. I'm not going to worry too much about how much my red's going out, if that makes sense. Now, if it bothers you, take your paper towel and you can kind of go in and wipe some of that red off. If it's spreading too much for you, I don't care if it's spreading. And I'll just, watercolor is great. You just wipe it. I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. Okay, so now I'm going to go in for the only thing, pay mind, because I do this all the time. When I go to take the lid off because I'm slightly off in my head, I unscrew. And when you unscrew, you're unscrewing your whole thing with the ink. They might even have refills for these. I'd have to look it up. I don't know. But just pull the cap off. Don't be like me and unscrew. And that's probably why some of them are leaking. Because, as some people might say, I have a screw loose. And you just keep squeezing till you see your paint coming down. And we're squeezing, 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 and we're squeezing. And I should have had my husband do that. It's a good thing to have, if you have hand problems, have somebody else squeeze. Or just one day before you know you're going to use them, like when you buy them, just sit and squeeze. So when you go to use them, they work. Maybe I didn't take the thing out. Because they do have little boopies on them that you got to take off. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the other yellow. Yeah, I'll just use the other yellow. My daughter's coming home from her walk with her dog. And then my dogs are going to play too and bark. So we're just going to go in. Is Emily home? Dave? Is Emily home, hon? Nobody answered. Is Emily home? Yeah. Okay. I just like to know. I'm a worrier. Drive my husband crazy. All right, and look how nice. I'll make sure I screwed that on there tight enough. And next time I use these, I'll make sure. And I'm going to give it a squirt out that way. Squirt out that way. And I'm going to give it a run. And a run. And we're good. And then let's do, well, let's do Roy G. Biv. Let's do a green. Spider James, you're not tough. Lay down. See how I even turned that? Damn me. Okay. And let's do some green. Look at that green coming out. Beautiful. And it's just really, you just have to dab it. Because remember, you have that water on there. Now these are re-wettable. Oh, that's wet. I'll use this. I'm going to put this over here so I can use it for the background. And like I said, these are wet. That one's wet. And I'm going to leave it run and leave it run and leave it run. And I don't care because it can go on my background. It could go wherever it wants to go. Again, if it's too wet for you, you just kind of go in. And do your little thing. We can always add more yellow when we dry it. Remember, no big deal. I'm going to have to add a little yellow there. I'm not worried about it. Roy G. Biv. Belle Biv DeVoe. I don't know. This one, I'm just pushing down. And look how cool that one is. I'm not even going to add any more water to that. That is freaking awesome. Oh my God. I'm going to pee my pants on that one. I'm not lying when I say that. Look how freaking cool. And what's going to happen is we're going to do a background. Now, I don't want it really to run into my red there. So I'll just have to retouch my red up later. Roy G. Biv. Purple. Now we need some purple. So I'm going to take my purple. And I'm just going to touch it. And it's nice and wet there. If you need to spray it a little bit more, spray it. Oh, this makes me so happy and exciting. Look at that spreading. These are things you want to see spread, not like herpes or anything bad, but just like beautiful paint. All right, bad joke. I know. Don't write me. I have a horrible sense of humor. Now, which colors shall we use on the tips? I think we need more yellow. Or what about a light blue? I think, no, do we want to end strong? How about orange? Let's try orange. Shall we try orange? There I go. See, I turned it to, you think, I'm one of them people that has to like screw up 20 times before I get it. And then I'm going to paint my orange on all the way to the tip because I'm going to, remember, I'm going to trace over with, this isn't as wet over here as I could have made it, but I'm not worrying. Might throw some glitter on here after. I don't know. I don't know. I do want to hit it with the heat gun. Just a little bit.